Hello students, myself Dr. Narendra Rally. I am here to explain you on the concepts of production analysis as a part of your third unit on loss in production. That is, in this class, I'll be explaining you uh, law of proportions. That is, short run production function, law of variable proportions. Generally, the loss in production could be like two things. In short run production function, we can illustrate that with law of variable proportions. Long run production function, we can returns to scale. Law of variable proportions. What is this law of variable proportions? Law of variable proportions is also known as law of variable proportions is also known as law of diminishing marginal returns. That is law of diminishing marginal returns. Let it be the diminishing marginal returns or let it be the law of variable proportions. I can first of all you just divide the words variable proportions into two things. Variable, which is having a change, which is not fixed, is also known as variable. Proportions, certain parts. See, for example, a proportion. See, an apple. Part 1 proportion, proportion 2, proportion 3, proportion 4. That like ratios, equal, 25, 25, 25, 25. Proportions, okay. Or else no, 10, 35, okay, 10, 35, 20, 45, like that. Proportions. So changing proportions, that is if you divide it, and also this one, and also diminishing, and also like diminishing marginal returns. You have two things: diminishing marginal returns. Marginal returns means that additional return obtained by producing one more extra unit, that is known as marginal. So that marginal returns. So what is this diminishing marginal returns? Is that decreasing returns, that is decreasing marginal returns. So law of variable proportions is also known as law of diminishing marginal returns. Okay, but you just understood the words if it is different. What is this law? What is the meaning of this law? What is the meaning of this law? What is law of variable proportions? Meaning: law of variable proportion occupies an important place in economic theory. This law examines the production function. This law examines the production function with keeping one factor variable. We already discussed there are four factors of production. What are these four factors of production? Let it say we have land, labor, capital, as well as organization. So land, labor, capital, and organization. We have four factors of production. What is this law of variable proportion says? Law of variable proportion examines the production function. What is this production function? What is the production function? Production function is equal to Q is equal to F of changes in land, labor, capital, organized management, and technology. So, production function means it is the relationship between the output and the combination of inputs or combination of factors. Combination of inputs or combination of factors. Okay. Now, this production function law of variable proportion examines what it examines. The examines the production function. Examines the production function. Which sort of production function? In the earlier slide we also discussed short run. Examines the production function of short run. That is what is this short run? With one factor variable remaining all fixed. Short run means keeping one factor variable and remaining all fixed. So keeping one factor variable and remaining all fixed, we call it as short run. So law of variable proportions examines production function with one factor variable and all remaining fixed. So this is law of variable proportions. In other words, it refers to the input-output relation when output is increased by varying the quantity of one input. You carefully observe the difference here. It refers to the input-output relation. Law of variable proportion is the relationship between input and outputs. What it explains? It explains that the output changes or varies by increased varying quantity of by the change in one factor. So this is the meaning of law of variable proportions. Keeping other factors fixed, the law explains the production function with one factor variable. In short, when output of a commodity is sought to be increased, law of variable proportions comes into operation. When the quantity of one factor is keeping the quantity of other factors constant, the production proportion between variable factor and the fixed factor is altered. Therefore, when the number of one factor is increased or decreased while other factors are constant, the proportion between the factors is altered. For instance, there are two factors of production. Say for example, as of now there are only two factors of production: land and labor. Land is a fixed factor, whereas labor is you have two factors: land, labor. So land is a fixed factor, whereas labor is a variable factor. So land and labor are fixed and variable factors. The land is a fixed factor. Now suppose we have a land measuring 5 hectares. We grow wheat on it with the help of variable factors, that is labor. I I have 5 acres of land. I have 5 acres of land. With the help of labor, I use this 5 acres of land to produce what? For example, say wheat. If the number of laborers has increased, if the current laborers are L numbers, and if the number of laborers has increased, two more numbers, so the new proportion between labor and land will be 2:5. That is L plus 2. Say already there are, for example, say there are already 10 laborers and 2 more laborers have been added. So earlier the ratio is 5:10, but now the ratio is 5:12. So the proportions will vary. That is why we call this law as variable proportions. As the proportion of factor in combination of factors is increased after the first point, first the marginal and then average product of that particular factor will diminish. This definition was given by Benham. An increase in some inputs relative to other fixed inputs will in a given state of technology cause outputs to increase, but after a point the extra output resulting from the same additions of extra inputs will become less and less. Assumptions. What are the assumptions of this law? What are the assumptions of this law? Assumptions to law of variable proportions. What are the major assumptions in this law of variable proportions? The first, state of technology is unchanged. Technology is unchanged. And second one, there must be some inputs whose quantity is fixed quantity for one factor. So there must be at least one factor fixed anukuntunnam kada. So fixed factor is one factor must be fixed. And the third one, the law is based on possibility of varying the proportions in which various factors can be combined. The law does not apply to those cases where factors must be used in a fixed proportions to yield. So when various factors are required to be used in rigidly fixed proportions, then the increase in one factor would not lead to any increase in the output. So that is why the marginal product of the factor will then be 0, not diminishing. That one is what all you have to remember is assumption first. The first one is constant technology. Factor proportions are variable. So factor proportions are variable. Homogeneous factor units, that is the units of variable factor are homogeneous. Each unit is identical in quality and the amount with every other units. And the third one is it must be for a short run. These are all the assumptions of law of variable proportions. Here see in this diagram you can see units of labor, total product, marginal product, average product. Marginal product is that one the products produced other than the regular capacity. Average products means total products by labor. Alage, and then total products means the total quantity. Assume that there is a given fixed amount of land with which more units of the variable factor labor it is used to produce agricultural output. With a given fixed quantity of land, farmer raises employment of labor from 1 unit to 7 units. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The total product increases from 80 quintals to up to 7. The total product increases from 80, 170, 270, 360, 480, 504. Beyond the employment of 8 units, the total product diminishes. Here see, at the 8th product also, the total product is 504. That is, here it is like constant. From 9th product, the output is diminishing from 504 to 495, 480. It is worth noting that up to the use of 3 units of labor, total product increases at an increasing rate. Here, what is this? Marginal product is from 80, 90, 100, 98, 62, 50, 24, 0 and minus 9. At the diminishing returns, like at the stage of 9th and 10th laborers, the marginal returns are almost negative. The marginal returns are almost negative. So here the first stage is you can see there are 3 stages: stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. There are 3 stages. At stage 1 it is almost increasing. In the second stage it ends or where AP is equal to MP, that is average product is equal to marginal product. The marginal product of the labor initially rises beyond the use of 3 units. The labor it starts diminishing, thus when 3 units of labor are employed, marginal product of labor is 100. When 3 units of labor has been employed, the marginal product's output is 100. With the use of 4th and 5th units of labor, the marginal product is again fall from 100 to 98 and 62. Beyond the use of 8 units of labor, the total product diminishes. Therefore, marginal product of labor becomes almost negative. The behavior of output when the varying quantity of one factor is combined with a fixed quantity of others, it can be divided into 3 distinct stages. In order to understand these 3 stages, it is better to graphically illustrate the production function with one factor variable. You can see it here. The three stages of the three stages of law of variable proportions. In the top panel of this figure, you can see the total product curve TP of the variable factor goes on increasing to a point, and after that it starts declining. Total product, it has been increasing all the time, and at certain point it starts decreasing. In the bottom pan, the average product and marginal product curves of labor also rise and then decline. In the bottom pan, if consider this as a top pan, this as a top pan, and this as a bottom pan, there are two graphs here. In the bottom pan also, average product also starts increasing, and at certain point it starts decreasing. As well as marginal product also, it has been increased at certain point and then again it has been decreased. The behavior of these total, average and marginal products of the variable factor as a result of increase in its amount is generally divided into three stages, which are explained below. Stage 1. Stage 1, that is, see, in stage 1 means you can see the total product curve TP increases at an increasing rate up to the point from the origin to point F. See, it has been increasing from the origin to point F. Slope of the total product curve is of TP is increasing, that is up to the point of F. The total product increases at an increasing rate. From point F onwards, during the stage 1, the total product curve goes on rising, but its slope is always declining. The marginal product also, the marginal product of the variable factor starts diminishing beyond OL. Where is L? Okay, here it is. You can see it is OL. The marginal product curve also declines. If this is the L point, it starts decline from marginal product. Why here it is the point of inflection is like here. So from this point, the marginal product also starts declining. Law of diminishing return starts from operating from stage 1 from point D on the marginal product. That is here, this is point D. The first stage ends where the average product curve reaches its highest point, that is point S. Stage 1 ends here. Why? Because at this point both average and marginal products have been starting declining. Stage 2. Here in the stage 2, the total product continues to increase at a diminishing rate until it reaches the maximum point H. If this is the stage 1, from F point H to from point F to point H will be like stage 2. At the end of second stage, point M, marginal product of the variable factor is 0. Here in this At this point, at the second point, the marginal product is almost 0. Stage 3, negative returns. Stage 3, see, marginal product is beyond the x-axis, that is negative point. That is, once the total product reaches the highest point, we have negative returns here. So this is the explanation of law of variable proportions. Thank you.